Armani Caesar, Griselda's first lady, is back on the scene with The Liz 2, which serves as the sequel to her 2020 Griselda debut. And while that project didn't blow me away, I knew that Armani could rap, and I was curious to see how she would fit into the scope of the Griselda label moving forward, and I also enjoyed some of her features since that release. But that brings us to The Liz 2, which is another album executive produced by Westside Gunn. It contains 17 songs, making it longer than her 11-track debut. The majority of the beats are provided by Camouflage Monk, while there's additional assistance from Derringer, Denny LaFleur, and Sovereign. But with that being said, let me go ahead and just hit y'all with this track-by-track breakdown. After the Liz 2 opening skit, we get the first actual song, Paula Deen, with Westside Gunn, and it's built around a moody, guitar-backed boom bap beat. Armani talks about how she's been whipping that dope and serving dudes in the kitchen, kind of like Paula Deen. I do like the way Armani enunciates her bars in this confident and sexy way. Her delivery on this first song is strong and really on a lot of these songs. And Gunn comes through with more of a slow, lackadaisical flow here, but I found the following lines to be a little silly. Hey yo, dope fiend saying West, you the shepherd. So overall, it's a solid track with that raw, lo-fi quality. Track 2, Diana, is the single featuring Kodak Black. Now this has a very rich and soulful beat that did put me in the frame of mind of some old Barry White, something very elegant from that fly 70s era. Armani's performance was decent, but it was Kodak Black who impressed me the most with his flow over the soulful beat. You may not like the guy's antics in real life, but he can rap. I did find Armani's chorus to be a little cringy though, at least for me as a guy, so I'm not gonna repeat it. However, I did enjoy her singing on the outro, which sampled that If There's a Cure for This melody. Track 3 is just a skit with a soulful instrumental that leads into the song Mel Gibson, which has Derringer on the boards, providing some dense drums and off-kilter keys. It's one verse where Armani flexes her skills. Thought the following lines were clever. Pretty, private, and paid, the coolest dude sweating me. I got more wood stock than the 70s. As a whole, this one was short but sweet, head nodding hip-hop. Afterwards is $100 Hiccup with Benny the Butcher and Stove God Cooks. It's got this gritty and nauseating loop that is the opposite of pretty. It's more like nails on a chalkboard, but the instrumental did grow on me after a few listens. Armani set it off with a solid verse, but I was mostly drawn to Benny's performance, who sounded good with the double time flow. Stove, on the other hand, said some random and humorous things as expected, like Feds cameras outside and they was patient. They was waiting. They was watching us like Everybody Loves Raymond. Then for track 7 is Survival of the Littest, which has a hypnotic boom bap beat from Denny LaFleur that I do enjoy. Armani raps about how she came a long way and had to boss up. She states, turned a Bonneville to a Benz, was stripper turned rapper before it ever was a trend. Following this is Queen City, where we get a soulful and dreamy instrumental from Denny LaFleur. There is a very calming, vibe-heavy 70s aesthetic to this beat. It is on this record where Armani sings on the hook. I did like her following line. Bank account looking good as hell, like a BBL, how it changed figures. So it was interesting to hear her mix melodic crooning with traditional rhyming. Track 9 is the two-part Liz Claiborne Jr. 1 and 2. For the first portion, we get this neck snapping loop where she is talking down to the shady and weak women, essentially shitting on them. Whereas part 2 has this haunting and rare vocal sample. Armani confidently raps, West is like Clyde and I'm Bonnie and shit. He throw me a beat and I'm bodying shit. This is the kind of confidence I'm talking about that she displays on this project. And then track 10, Meth and Mary, contains another smooth and sparkling Camouflage Monk beat and more singing from Armani on the hook. And here she does give us her own interpretation of Meth and Mary J's You're All I Need. It's not bad, but I'm not sure I'd revisit it. Immediately following this is the standout, Ice Age, which has a frosty boom bap beat from Denny LaFleur that is rather unique. Armani talks about her love for the finer things, but she also gets a little ruthless with bars like spray down your block, wake your grandma up, clips with extendos, got stamina, I make a call, they coming with drums and them sticks, my dudes looking like they got band with us. The subsequent track, First Wives Club, is an experimental song with Armani singing throughout. On the hook she says, "You don't owe me, I'm not your bitch." It has this dusty, jazzy, boom bap beat that I found really appealing as I dug the horns. Like, this beat is by far the dirtiest on the project. So even though there was no rapping, I could appreciate how she did mix melodicism with the dusty production. Am I gonna revisit it? Probably not. But I feel a feature from El Camino would have really worked here. The following, Big Mood, feels more like an interlude, but I did like the smooth and groovy loop from Camouflage Monk. Then there is El Puro with Conway the Machine. The two do their best modern day Lil Kim and Biggie like performance over this lush string arrangement. It's very soothing instrumentally, and Armani does some of her best singing on the hook. As a whole, it's definitely one to check out. Track 15 is That Money Maker, where we get Armani using the double time flow over this serene and wavy loop. It's an interesting track, but very short and lacks structure. Then a second to last song is Snowfall, produced by Camouflage Monk. It's another singing record from Armani, set to syrupy and somber piano chords. I doubt if I'll return to it, but I could appreciate the vibe. Then the album wraps up with Psych, which is your obligatory strip club anthem. The production from Beat King feels kind of Megan and Glorilla inspired, which isn't a bad thing, as it gives you a taste of what Armani sounds like over this more mainstream female rapper production. It's another one that I probably won't replay much, but it does offer some variety and it's fun and up tempo. So overall, I give this project a rating of 3.5 mics. I feel it shows off her versatility and range as an artist. The production was a little more diverse than her 2020 EP2, in that it had a nice blend between traditional Griselda beats and more melodic R&B. She also did experiment with singing more this time around. I do feel she can sing reasonably well, but in all honesty, I don't know how often I will return to the strictly R&B tracks here. Still, it's a good enough sequel worth checking out that has strong production throughout, and it shows Armani continuing to come into her own as an artist on this label. My favorite tracks include Paula Deen, Diana, Mel Gibson, Survival of the Littest, Liz Claiborne Jr. 1 and 2, Ice Age, and El Puro. Let me know what you thought about this album in the comment section. It's your boy Mixtape Moth. I'm signing out, but be sure to hit that like button and please subscribe. As always, it's peace and blessings. Armani Caesar, the Liz 2-1.